Hey guys, Monica here with I think a pretty fun topic. So, I'm going to talk about how to get what we want, how to fulfill those long-held desires and those deeply held dreams, and have fun in the process. So, I find it helpful to use acronyms sometimes, and this one is going to be G.I.V.R. You'll understand kind of why here in a second. So, we'll start with G, and that stands for gratitude. I think it's so important, perhaps the most important step, to be grateful for the life we have before we can begin actively working toward or expecting a new reality or our life to be blessed in some major way. I think we have to find those blessings, however small or difficult they may seem to find. Perhaps just that we have a roof over our heads. I mean, that's huge. Many people throughout this country and this world certainly do not. So whether it's food on the table, all our limbs intact, the ability to speak, the ability to see, I mean, you can get as basic as you want. I've even heard it said that if you can't find anything to be grateful for, figure out things that you're grateful not to have. So grateful not to have a sexually transmitted disease, or grateful not to have boils all over your body. I mean, I know it sounds a little bit sick, but the point is there's always something if you're looking for it. And some of us that may be a little more inclined to negative thinking, myself included, have to be more mindful about our gratitude practice and really writing these things down on a regular basis. I recommend a gratitude journal, even if you don't write it every day. Certainly when you're feeling that self-pity creep in, we can kind of pull it out and really remember, okay, it's not so bad. So that's step one. The second step is intention. So that would be our I in our G.I.V.R acronym. And intention is all about setting that seed of desire in place. And there's a number of ways that we can do that. I find it helpful to have a formal meditation practice, and we can kind of go into our meditation with that specific intention. I think sometimes people can be a little bit scattered, and so it helps to initially have that one thing, either an object in the physical world or in our minds, that we can kind of turn to and really kind of hone in, because what we give our attention to is what tends to expand or to grow in our life. So the more attention we put on what it is that we want, and the more that we sort of speak it into existence through telling other people about it, writing it down, etc., the more legitimacy it lends it as well. So that kind of carries us right into our third step, which is represented with the letter V, which stands for visualization, and I think this is certainly the most fun part. This is where you can get creative and crafty and pull out the vision boards and kind of go through magazines or whatever you have around and kind of create a collage of the life that you want. And so you can do it issue specific and create one just for your professional life, one just for your relationships, one for travel, whatever the case might be, whatever step's important to you. Or like myself, just have one giant one and just keep adding to it. And you can take things off as either they're fulfilled or you no longer want them. And it's just sort of a fun way to remind ourselves in a very visual way, which I think is helpful for a lot of us, that these are the things that we want. And you can put words up there, so it's not about shiny objects. It's about financial freedom or peace or whatever it is, again, that's important to you. You can also visualize these things again in meditation. I find sometimes that can get a little bit distracting, so I tend to do a separate visualization simply for this sort of thing, which I guess I'll kind of segue into with our last letter here, which is R, and that's the release part. This for me, and I think for any of us that like some semblance of control, it's difficult. It can be tough to really release that desire and to understand that it's up to the universe at this point. So we can get really clear, we can get really grateful, we can get really creative as far as putting out there in various means the things that we want. Pinterest boards, forgot to mention, is another great way to have those visual daily reminders of the things that we want. Anyhow, we can have all of these things in place, and they're all very important, But if we're so fixated and so sort of attached to the result and the specific ways in which it's going to come about, we can sometimes suffocate the life out of our dreams and block ourselves from an even better opportunity, right? So the point is that we don't always know the ways in which, and the timeline, right, in ways that our dreams are going to unfold. The important thing is to have the clear intention, have the belief that that dream is capable of being fulfilled, and just to regularly sort of remind ourselves of these things through whatever means work for us. But we can't become so sort of tightly attached to it that we shut ourselves off from the possibility of something better. We've heard it said that God dreams far bigger dreams for us than we can dream for ourselves. So this is a helpful reminder, I think, when we're having a hard time letting go. And something that I do, again, being a visual person, is I visualize a pink balloon. And so in that balloon is whatever desire or thing that I'm trying to find some release from, some sense of surrender, and I will visualize it in my mind's eye very, very slowly, sort of escaping high into the sky until I can no longer see it. And to me, that's a very strong visual reminder of my slowly letting go and letting the universe take over. And the universe always has a much clearer idea of what should happen anyway. So we can get really grateful and really in a place where we feel ready and deserving of our desires. We also have to let go at a certain point and let them materialize in the way that they should and the time that they should. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. Remember, whenever it is that you're trying to get what it is that you want, G.I.V.R can be a helpful little acronym. Gratitude, intention, visualization, and release. So I hope this helped you guys. Have a wonderful day, and here's to fulfilling all of our desires. Be well until next time.